Hey guys, welcome back to the Rush Guy channel. Today we're doing something special. We're going flying over Novosibirsk. Let's go. Alright guys, so now we're heading out to the plane. This is my friend Andrew. Hello. You might, if you watch really closely, you might have seen him before in one of my videos. We play hockey together. He's gotten his plane license, what, last September?
Yep.
And how long have you been flying?
My whole life.
Your whole life?
For like a year and a half, 2 years.
Yep. So yeah, he's offered to take me for a flight over the Novosibirsk area. So we're just walking to the plane hangar at the moment, and I'll show you when we get there. So here we are inside the hangar. What was that? The beehive. I can definitely see where you get that, the beehive. And this is the plane that you hire out, is it?
Yeah.
The RA0228G.
Designed to fly low, fly slow, and be economical. With great visibility. But anything that can fly low and slow is good for flight training. And it's cheap to fly.
Yep.
Comparatively.
Quite economical, so.
Because it runs on 95.
95?
Octane, yeah. So it's much cheaper than other airplane engines that run on aviation gas. Because aviation gas is like 3 times as much. It's car gas.
So, what's this process?
Right now, I'm checking the fuel, looking for any pieces of ice or water that got into the fuel overnight. Usually airplanes are they're refueled in the evening, and in the morning we check to see how the gasoline has set into the gas tanks.
Yeah, see if there's any water in the bottom.
See any water or any ice as well. If there's condensation that froze in there, there'll be ice. And that'll make the engine run not really happily.
Just like a car. And what sort of range would this plane have, like flying distance?
You're gonna ask me that question when I'm ready.
Alrighty.
That's a good question. Let's see. It goes 130 kilometers per hour. You can fly for about 800 kilometers.
800 kilometers?
Probably, yeah. On a good day.
Yep.
The wind is going for you.
That's the advantage of YouTube, you can
Yeah.
cut out waiting time.
We also just Google the answer and then say it like we know it.
Yeah.
That could be wrong. That's just my quick math skills. So the airplane has 2 fuel tanks. So I check one fuel tank and now I'm checking the other fuel tank. The same thing.
Is that just one runs out and the other one starts, or is that just in case one gets a leak and you need to?
They'll both fuel.
At the
They
same
both
time?
provide fuel at the same time, yeah. So some airplanes have a switch where they can select if they want to run from the right tank or the left tank.
Yep.
And some airplanes will have right, left, and both. This airplane is just automatically both at the same time.
Yep.
But it depends. So it's gravity fed. There's a backup pump in case it doesn't run well, but it's the fuel tank's right up here.
Yeah.
So it's gravity fed into the system. So it's not necessarily equal. So you might have a little bit more flowing from the right side than the left side.
So the fuel tank is in the wings, is it?
It's in the wings, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
In most general aviation planes, as far as I can remember, usually fuel tanks are in the wing. Now this fuel is used for like snowmobiles, chainsaws, anything like that, so the fuel isn't wasted.
Yep.
Fuel that's comes out of airplanes, we don't put it back into the airplane. It just gets used for other things.
Makes sense, because when you're always taking from the bottom of the tank, it's taking all the dirt,
Dirt, water.
water.
Yeah.
And even that, it settles into the bottom of that tank, so everything on the top of that tank is still good. If not all of it.
And the thing is, if you have fuel that's not great, and it's in a chainsaw, that's not dangerous.
Yeah.
The chainsaw might sputter, it might shut off. And the airplane, you don't want your engine to sputter and shut off.
Yeah. Slightly difference in consequence.
Yeah.
Is this an engine heater?
Yep. So we put it about where the oil tank is.
Yep.
So the main thing we want to heat up at the beginning is the oil before we start the engine. And then while that's running, we're going to put cover over the engine.
Like a beanie for your plane.
Mask.
Here's a look at the inside of the plane. 2-seater. It sits. Pretty cool. So you can fly this plane from both sides. Is there like a dominant side or?
Pilot flies on the left side.
Left side.
Because all the instruments are on the left side in his eye line.
Yep.
And then when you fly with an instructor, they'll usually sit on the right. Otherwise, they'll have the passenger on the right side, pilot on the left.
Yep.
Are you ready?
All ready to go.
Отвинта!
So the maps you fly with, are they special aviation maps?
Yeah, it's an aviation map. It works crappy. So I calculated everything before on paper.
Yep.
And I have the map with me, but I've also taken a picture of it on my phone, so I can also look at the calculations I've made. But the main things I need to know, I've flown this route dozens of times, so I know it basically, but I still have it written down anyway, just in case.
I can definitely see once you started flying how it become very not addictive, but a sense of freedom.
Yeah.
So the plane, does it like with tight turns and stuff, does it like, can you go like as hard as you can and it's like fine with the plane, it's still strong enough?
What's that again?
Like with tight turns, like
no, there's of course there's restrictions about what you're allowed to do, and what you can do and what you can't do in terms of the amount of pressure it'll put on the plane, the G-force.
Yeah.
So we in the max turn you can do in here is a 60-degree turn.
Yeah.
I've never done, at least not on purpose, I've never done more than 45.
Yeah.
So we train for 45 degree turns. You can do 60 according to the characteristics of the airplane. It's just not fun to do. I mean, some people like it. Some people like the G-force. They like to feel the pressure pushing down on them.
Yeah.
Not one of those people. I'll let you take the controls as well. Just a second. So we'll probably do one more stall and then I'll circle around and then let you take the controls. Alright, so I release the throttle. I'm gonna pull way back. See when we get to like about 50. That was a weaker stall. I didn't pull back really roughly. Give it time.
Hopefully don't stuff it up on this turn.
Yeah, they won't be able to tell that. Just the fact that you're holding the controls. Alright, you can start the left turn. Alright, we'll do a couple more minutes of this and then we'll go start flying some circuits.
Yeah.
I'll teach you how to land.
Don't incriminate yourself on footage.
This is fine. I'm under. The airplane is under my control.
Yeah. So guys, we just touched down, landed again. It was a really cool experience. Unfortunately, we had a bit more cloud cover today than we anticipated, so we couldn't really fly over the city section of Novosibirsk, but we just flew around this area, and Andrew let me steer the plane for a little bit, which was really cool. So now we're gonna put the little beanie nose cover on and then push it into the hangar, and then we'll show you around some things of the airport, some of the things that make it interesting, some of the old planes and stuff they've got here. So this is sort of at the back of this little airport. They've got a whole bunch of older planes that could be being repaired or just retired out of service. Got some bigger ones, and then this cute little small one with the two props on top. All the hangars are back that way. This is the hangar that we just got the plane that we flew in. This hangar behind it is a repair hangar, which they do a lot of repairs for all the planes here, and even some other planes that they bring in. And then behind there they have hangars for private planes and things like that. Our pilot. Now we're going to head back to the sort of, what would you call it?
Oh yeah. The warm house.
The warm house, the resting area. And then over there they have some more. They've got a big old helicopter that we can look at, and some other stuff.
So cool. I love the sound.
So guys, we're back at where the car is. Got to point out just over there, there's that drone building. That's where they base out some skydiving. Oh no, parachuting actually. So they do, you can go parachuting here. Apparently the military does parachuting here as well. And this is a massive helicopter. I think in its day, especially when it was being built, it was the biggest helicopter in the world. I don't know about now, but it'd be pretty close to the biggest. This thing is massive. It's in retirement, so it no longer works, but it's pretty cool that it's here. So guys, we finished up in this building. We've got everything sorted out. Now we're just gonna head home. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and coming along. It was a really good time being out here with Andrew, being able to fly. I didn't expect to actually be flying the plane for a bit. Good job. Yeah. So if you did like it, leave it a big thumbs up. Write down in the comments below what you thought. Only nice things about Andrew. Subscribe if you haven't. You can press the button down below. And if you want to support me on this channel, the content I make, there's links down below as well. And until next time, I'll catch you later.